Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 4th? No, May 4th. I don't know. It's about 11 a.m. here, and this is the start of a new week's vlog. Yeah, it's 11 a.m. and I feel like I've gotten a lot done already, and my brain's a little scattered. But, yeah, I've already got up, got Addie ready. Addie was up at 7 a.m. I think, as she does. and so then I got her taken care of, fed, changed, all that good stuff. And then she played for a little bit. I had breakfast, I pumped, I fed the dogs. By the time I did all of that, it was time for her to go back to sleep. And so straight back down for a nap. And then I started to clean the house because I realized that I like to clean the house earlier in the week, right at the beginning of the week. Because we also do on Sunday, we order groceries and clean our sheets and do our laundry and do some other errands like that. And so that's finishing the reset, it feels like, to get the house clean. And so I started cleaning the house, and then I pulled out the vacuum, and usually she sleeps right through the vacuum and it's not a problem, but she did not today. And unfortunately that was only a half an hour into her nap, because since I've been, more diligent about cleaning more often, it didn't take me very much time at all, to clean the house this morning. And so I was like, motherfucker, only a half an hour for her morning nap? That's not ever happened before. So I was like, shit. So I went and got her, and I finished vacuuming, went and got her because I was almost done, and let her play on the floor while I mopped, which is the last thing I do. So I mopped. And then I was like, okay, because we folded laundry last night while she was sleeping, so I didn't want to go in there to put her laundry away. And so I don't know why my brain's not working this morning. I need more coffee, I guess. So I had laundry from last night, Addie's laundry, to put away. And then, while I was in there, we have 2 drawers of sheets and blankets and burp cloths and bibs and whatever that you can't even open. They're so stuffed. We were very, very lucky and got a lot of gifts from a lot of people when I was pregnant. And that included a lot of burp cloths and a lot of bibs and a lot of little blankets. And it was just you couldn't even open the drawers. It was too much. And there were so many shoved at the back that we had never touched because there's just so many. And so I went through and sorted out the ones that I wanted to keep and the ones that we didn't need, and was going to get rid of the ones that we didn't need, so that you could actually open the fucking drawers. So I brought Addie into her nursery with me, and then hung up her laundry and then cleaned out those drawers, and you can open them now, which is fantastic. So I did that, and then decided I wanted to take a shower since I was done cleaning, because I can't hang out in my clean house when I'm dirty and gross and sweaty after cleaning. So I have to take a shower after I clean. It's just, I don't know, weird like that. But so I took a shower and brought Addie into the bathroom with me, had some toys out on the floor for her to play with. She was totally cool. It wasn't until I started drying my hair that then she was pissed, and so I'm like, fuck, it's time to go back to sleep again. This is just a whirlwind of a morning, because she had a short wake window because she had a short nap. So I just got her back down for a nap. Hopefully she's gonna have a nice long nap, because she's already on her second nap of the day by 11 a.m., which is unheard of. So I hope she naps for a good long while, because she was not in a good mood yesterday, and her stomach was upset. She threw up all over the place, so I'm keeping an eye on her today and making sure that she's okay. But something just wasn't sitting right with her, and so that was fun yesterday. But yeah, we had a good weekend overall. We really didn't do anything crazy. Perry really wanted to just like chill this weekend because he has had just a lot on his plate with work and stuff and just wanted to relax totally. And so that's what we did. Saturday we hung out at the house most of the day, but then we decided because my mom had offered to babysit, and so we had decided to take her over there so we could do like a date night. So for dinner, we went to a place called Rosati's, which we do have one location in Colorado. Thankfully, it's not too far from us. It's a Chicago pizza and beef sandwiches and whatever kind of place. I don't know where else they have them, but I know they're really like from Chicago. And then we used to have 2 locations. One of them shut down. Now we have 1 here. So what we do is we go there and we get a Italian beef sandwich and we split it, and then we get a pizza with Italian beef. And I don't like spicy, but Perry does, so he gets hot giardiniera on his side and I just have beef on my side, and we split the pizza too. And so that's what we did. We took the motorcycle because since we were gonna have Addie taken care of, I could be on the motorcycle with him, which like I don't get to do very much anymore because the baby, you can't take a baby on a motorcycle. So as much as I would think that would be fun, it's a terrible idea, so I'm not doing that, but I would like to, but we can't do that. I usually, when we're on the motorcycle, I usually am driving behind him. When he's on the motorcycle, when we're going for a ride with friends or whatever, I'm trailing behind them in the car with Addie, but because she was at my mom's, I could be on the motorcycle, which I was very excited about. Like I said, I don't get to do that very much these days, so I was very happy. So we did that. We rode to Rosati's and we had dinner, and then we did that so quickly that we were like, what else do we do? And I'm like, I'm not done yet. Like, take the long way home. Like take the long way back to my mom's house. And he was like, okay. And he just like starts driving in the opposite direction. And I'm like, cool, let's go. If you drive the opposite direction of my mom's house, you're driving towards the mountains from where we were. And so he just kept going and going and going. And we ended up like in the flatlands, foothills kind of area, like at the base of the mountains. If you go by like Golden, there's like the Rocky Flats area. Which is just beautiful. There's these like long winding roads that go through it and views of the mountains and whatever. And so we were just like cruising through that, looking at the mountains. So nice. And then he decides to stop there's a bar over there. I think it's called the Rocky Flats Bar. And it's really cool. It backs right up to the mountains, and they have this big like outdoor area that has like Adirondack chairs and fire pits and whatever, and you can hang out and drink, and the mountains are right there. So you sit out there and you look at the mountains. So we decided to do that, stop for one drink, because my mom goes to bed at like 9 p.m. And I'm like, I guess that just happens. You become a grandma and you go to bed at 9 p.m. I don't know, because Perry's mom does it too, and I'm like, I don't know. And they wake up at like 5 a.m. I'm like, I don't understand. But anyway, so I was like, okay, we got to get back for mom's bedtime. No, not Addie's bedtime, mom's bedtime. So we stopped at the bar for a drink, and I really don't drink very often at all, but I was like, we're at a bar, screw it. I probably have one drink like a couple of times a year, and I'm good. Like, I've never been, I don't know, it's like I like it, but I've never been a huge fan of it, never felt a huge need to do it, and so I just skip it because it's better for me to not, so why not? But I was like, we're here, I'll have a drink, whatever. So I got like plus I'm a wimp with alcohol too, so I get really, because I don't drink very often, I get tipsy very quickly, so one drink is like done, I'm done. And I also don't like anything very strong, whatever. I always get like the fruity cocktails because I can't. So I got a Dirty Shirley, and Perry got a beer, and we went and sat in the Adirondack chairs out there, and there was like a big herd of cows right behind the fence, and then the mountains were right behind them. And they're, oh my God, it's the time of year where there's like baby cows. It's spring, so they have baby cows. And so there were so many like cute little baby cows. And so we sat back out there and we watched the baby cows and looked at the mountains and talked and whatever. It was great. And then we headed back. We haven't had, I don't know, a night like that, just the two of us without Addie in a long time. So that was really nice. So yeah, then we rode back, picked her up, went home, all of that. Sunday, one of Perry's friends came over. They were continuing to work on his trailer, on his friend's trailer that he bought for his jet ski, and they're modifying it. So he brought it back over and Perry was helping him with that. And so I was inside stitching. Yeah, and because of some of the driving that we did and what, like when we drove, because we drove to my mom's house, dropped Addie off. Perry was on the motorcycle, I was in the car. So we drove there, and then I hopped on the motorcycle with Perry, and then we took the car back home. And so on the way there and back, I was listening to my audiobook, and during that day a little bit, and then like a good amount of the day on Sunday, I'm ripping through this book. I'm actually reading, I know I said something different if you watched last week's vlog, but then later that day, I had another one of my holds that came available, and I was like, oh, I want to read that one, because I've been really excited about that. So I was like, I'll read that, and then I'll read the other hold that I have. It was It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. Really popular right now. I think it's a new release. I don't know. So I'm going to read that. But the one that came in is Next of Kin by Kia Abdullah. That also I've just heard like nonstop good things about. And it's you have to be like prepared because it's a tough subject, but it's about an aunt who's watching her nephew, and she accidentally forgets about him in the car and leaves him in the car on the hottest day of the year, forgets he's in there, and he dies. And half of the book, the first part of the book, is the events leading up to it and what happened. The first like 2 chapters are like the day that it happens, and then after that it's leading up to what happens afterwards, leading up to the trial, all of that. She gets charged with manslaughter and she's going to court, and the second half of the book is in court. So it's a courtroom drama, and it's really, like, I wouldn't call it a thriller, but it is, like, I guess a drama in that sense. Really, really interesting. I love books like that are not necessarily like a whodunit, murder mystery, thriller thing, where it's just interesting and you just have to, like, you want to know what's going on, and you don't, you have to keep reading, and you want to know, like this, you want to know if she gets convicted or not, or what happens, and really good. Like, it had me intrigued, like, very quickly. It's an 11-hour audio book, and I'm like almost done. Like, I'm in the last like 2.5 hours of the book. I'm like 75% done, and really good. So if you like, so far, I mean, as long as the ending doesn't piss me off or something, so far I really like it. Really recommend if you like books like that. Really good, but it's hard. It's a hard topic. It's hard. Like, the first 2 chapters, your stomach is in knots. Like, it's hard to listen to, but especially now being a mom, I have a 7-month-old. Like, I can't imagine. It's just completely heartbreaking. So it's like makes you never want to put your kids in anybody else's care. But then, like, that could happen to you too. Like, it's horrible. It's horrible. So you have to be okay with that. But if you are okay with that and you find that interesting, so good. So I've been listening to that all weekend while I've been stitching. And I don't have it with me. I probably should pull it out of the closet, but I don't feel like it. So I had started while I was, I said last week that I was working on this little kit that I had in my stash. It was a Riolis kit. And it was like little foxes and leaves. I think that's what it was called, foxes and leaves. It was a little Riolis kit, and it was with wool, which was interesting. But it was something that I just had from years ago because I was waiting on the stuff to come in. I really wanted to work on the pattern that I designed. I have recently opened an Etsy shop selling patterns that I have designed called Loops and Linen Designs, because apparently I can't stop making Etsy shops. I don't know. It started with Randa's Crafty Corner, sold that. Then when I was pregnant, I made for Addie, which is crochet patterns. That's another Etsy shop because I was crocheting a lot while I was pregnant with her. And then now that I'm stitching, I'm making cross stitch patterns, and Loops and Linen is born. So so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, all of those will be linked down below. And I called my, I thought it was cute. I called my crochet shop Made for Addie. My daughter's name is Addie. Because it was all, I made patterns from all the stuff I was making for her. So it's all like baby themed stuff, but yeah. So there's that, Made for Addie. And then I just, Loops and Linen, I just liked it. So, and that's just whatever I feel like. I think I have plans for my next pattern too. But anywho, so I started, let me get back on track. So I started that Riolis kit because I was waiting for the stuff to come in for my pattern that I designed, because that's really what I wanted to work on next. And it hadn't come in yet when I finished, as you saw last week, if you watched last week's video, Ye Honk Saloon by Fine Frog Stitching, I think is what it's called. I'm waiting for the frame on this. It should come on Friday. So I'll have that framed and I'll show you that when it's framed. So I started that kit, and then the next day the stuff for my pattern showed up. And I was talking to my mom about it. I was like, oh, I gotta finish this kit so I can start my, my other one. And she was like, why? She's like, let that stay as like an in-between kit for when you're in a situation like that again, and work on what you really want to work on. And I was like, well, isn't that just a damn good point? Like, I don't know why I hadn't considered that. So I was like, no, you're right, because I will have in-between moments like this again, probably. And so, like, let's just do that. So I put it aside, and I started my pattern. So let me show you, because I printed it all out, and I've been working on it. I got the pattern all, like, put together. So this is the cover page. I just called it Floral Cowboy Boots, because who knows? And there's my logo, Loops and Linen Designs. But then that's the pattern. Ah, don't you love it? I got inspiration from a pillow I saw at Hobby Lobby that has 3 floral cowboy boots like this, and made my own because I just thought it was too fucking cute and I had to have it. And Perry looked at this and immediately went, is that a flower spur? And I went, I guess it is. I hadn't considered that. And he was like, flower spur. He thought that was funny. So, but yeah, isn't that so cute? So what I got, so I have all the DMC for it because it's all just charted in DMC. And that's this here. Pinks and purples and blues and yellows and a green and some browns, and oh my God, how fun and cute. And then this is what I have so far. So I am calling this, the suggested, what I'm using and the fabric I'm suggesting is 14 count Aida in sand by Charles Craft. So that's like the DMC printed Aida. They sell it at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whatever. I got this from 123 Stitch. But it's just, so the back is just plain white. It's printed. So, and there's like browns, but then there's also, it's like a tan model, but there's also pinks and oranges and yellows. You can kind of see that, but it's more prominent like on other parts of it. Doesn't it look so good on that? Like, are you actually kidding me? I got all the floss together for it and whatever and went, ugh. So when this is going to be my model stitch for it. Cause one, I was like, I need that in my life and on my wall. And 2, I want to have it like model stitched. So when that's done, I'll replace this like mock-up rendering with the actual model stitch. But oh, isn't it looking so good? I could squeal. I'm really, really in love with this. And, so I finished the top of this middle boot here. So all of the flowers are done. Everything from here up is done. I'm working on the base of the boot down here. I don't know I don't know what's going on. I need to figure it out. This is part of why it's good to model stitch a more complicated pattern like this, because I have a couple patterns on there already that I haven't model stitched. But because they're pretty simple and don't really need to be like double checked. This does, because this is a lot more complicated, and I'm glad that I'm stitching it, because while I've been stitching it, I've been changing things on the pattern. So I have my pattern printed out here, and I printed it all on one page and then went, you know what, that needs to be bigger because I can barely fucking see that. So it's like, and then, oh, I want this stitch shouldn't be there. I should change that. And oh, I should change this. Like it's going to be great. That's why I haven't released it yet, because I'm still working on things while I'm stitching it. And I've run into possibly another problem. I don't know if it's a problem in the pattern or if it's that I am just losing my mind. So here, let me try to show you this way. So you see there's like, you know, the white stripes on the bottom of the boot there, right there. I don't know. So what I did was I outlined the boot, like this part of the boot without the heel, so that I could just fill it in. And I was doing the white part so I could continue filling it in. This white part ends one stitch down further than it should. It's closer to the base of this than it should be. And I went, oh, that's weird. I must have miscounted somewhere. Let me count. I counted all of these little sides, all of these little stitches, everything all around. I cannot figure out what's wrong. Everything else lines up perfectly. The amount of stitches from the top of the boot here all the way down to the bottom is correct. Everything around here is correct. I cannot for the life of me figure out why this isn't working. Why this isn't lining up the way that it is in the pattern. I truly am baffled. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. No, that's right. See, baffled. I have no idea. So I was getting so frustrated last night. I counted everything like 15 times, and then it was time to go to bed. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to have to look at it with fresh eyes in the morning and see if I can figure out what's wrong. Otherwise, I'm going to have to finagle the pattern. But I don't know, because it's why? Like, I can't figure it out. Usually I can find my mistakes pretty quickly, so I don't know what's going on here, but nonetheless, I'm going to figure it out. Doesn't it look so fucking good? So, gonna do this boot, and then there's a boot on either side. I love it. So it's gonna end up being, if you stitch it on 14 count, it's 128 stitches by 70 stitches. 128 this way, 70 this way. And so it'll be about 9 inches by 5 inches. So I'm gonna put it in, I think, a 10 by 6 frame. Give myself an inch on either side, on all sides, I think is what I'm gonna do. And then hang it on the wall with the rest of them. Yay! So that's what I've been doing all weekend, and that's what I'm gonna do for the remainder of the day, because I finished my chores. Except for I do have, there's a job that wants me to do like their AI system starts filtering through resumes. And so it picked mine out for a behavioral assessment, did that. And then it said, okay, next step after that. It apparently liked my answers to that. And next step to that is, like a video introduction that you have to film, like a 2-minute video introducing yourself to send to them. I'm like, okay, fine. Like the amount of times that I've done that already is just, I don't know, it's sad. It's hard. Like, this job market is so hard. It makes you question. I'm constantly like, do I just suck? Like, do I suck at this? Do I suck at my job? Do I suck at interviewing? Do I whatever? Because how could I have gotten this far and not have a job yet? That's never happened to me before. I've always been the person to like get the job in the interview. And so this has been really hard for me. And Perry's like, nope, the job market sucks. It doesn't have anything to do with you, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so hard though. So I'm going to film that, and then I'm going to spend probably a couple minutes applying for jobs. And then I'm going to go out and stitch. So that's the plan. Yeah, I think that's all there is to talk about and show you. I'm gonna do that and then stitch for the rest of the day. Hopefully Addie gets a nice good nap in. But I think that's all. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 5th. Yes, it is. Today, Miss Addie girl, my daughter, is 8 months old. I can't. Nope. No, she's not. No, she's actually not. I can't believe it. She's growing up too fast. I can't handle it. She's not allowed. She's got to stop. I don't know when she's going to get the memo. She can't grow up that fast. She doesn't listen to me. Yeah, she's fully sitting on her own. She's eating more. She's like, I just can't. I feel like I just gave birth to her yesterday. Like, she's just a squishy little newborn in my head, and I think she always will be. Oh, you just want to squeeze her, you know? My God. So, happy month birthday to Addie girl. She's sleeping right now. It is probably about 9 a.m. She woke up at 7 a.m. as she does, put her to sleep at 8:30. And then I went and got myself ready. And, yeah, I really wish, so I did like some lighter curls today in a sense, where they're not like super, you know what I mean? Like big and full. And I like it. And I wish my hair would just like stay like this. It won't. I know these curls are going to be gone in like an hour or two. I don't know what happened to my hair that when I was a kid, I remember in high school vividly that I would curl my hair and it would last for days. It would last until I washed it. That 3 days later, I would still have a curl in my hair. And I loved it. You know, like it was super nice to be able to like wake up the next morning. I had like really like big curls day one, and then day two, they were like soft curls. And so I would just do that and maybe a little dry shampoo and whatever. I don't know what happened as an adult. My hair doesn't do that anymore. I can't hold a curl to save my life. I remember on my wedding day, I was so pissed because by the time we got to the ceremony, my curls had fallen and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, so you can see like the slightest amount of curl in my hair and I'm like, oh my God. It got a little bit better when I moved to, cause I just had like a curling wand that was ceramic. And then I moved to, I heard that your curls will last better if you use like one that's like straight metal. I don't remember what the metal is, but like straight metal and has like a clamp on it. And so I started doing that, and that is a little bit better, but still usually by the end of the day or the next day they've fallen. So I have no idea. And hairspray doesn't do a damn thing. And like, I don't really know. I'm like really sad because I miss when my hair used to do that in high school, because it's nice to go like a day in between washing it and whatever. Especially because my hair is ridiculously long. Like it goes all the way down here, way below my boobs. I would love to, I'm on a tangent. Here we go. I would love to cut my hair to like here, like have it be like brushing the top of my shoulders. I seem to have done that my whole life, is that I'll let it grow out really long and then chop it and then let it grow out and then chop it. I've never gone that short though, but it just like, it's such a pain in my fucking ass to wash it. And I already have like sensory aversions to washing my hair. So I've had to work really hard at washing it regularly because of that. And now I wash it regularly, but it's still just a pain in my ass because there's like a whole mop that needs to be cleaned and brushed and styled and whatever. And I think it would be really nice and easy to have hair up here, and you just like, you wash it in like 4 seconds. You could curl it in 4 seconds. I have naturally wavy hair. It doesn't really show when I just let my hair do its thing, mostly because I think my hair is so heavy. I wonder if it was up here, if it would curl a little better. But Perry's like, I mean, he's like, you'd look cute no matter what you do, but I like your long hair. And I was like, motherfucker, now I can't ever cut it. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I still will, because he wouldn't say anything about it. But it just I look good for me and for him. I don't care about anything else and any other perception. I want to feel good for me and I want to look good for him. And so doing something that I know he wouldn't prefer is just like hits wrong with me, because I want him to like it. And so I'm like, well, shit. So I do need to cut my hair though, that it is getting really long and really like the ends are getting really dead and whatever. So I'm probably going to trim like a good couple inches off of it and have it up to here. But, yeah, I asked him like a couple of months ago when my hair was maybe just a little bit shorter than it is now, because my hair grows really fucking fast. So it was maybe, an inch or two shorter a couple months ago. And I was like, when we talked about this, and I was like, okay, so what is your ideal length for me? And he was like, what it is right now. I was like, fuck, that's so long. So I don't know, I might cut it someday, but for now, I do need to just like trim it and be done. But I don't remember how I got on that tangent. Anyhow, if anybody has hair like mine and has tricks on how to keep a fucking curl in, I would love to fucking hear it. Because it would be so nice. I think that's where I was going with that. Because I don't know what happened to my hair. Maybe it was postpartum, maybe it was, I don't know. But it didn't know it did that before, like I said, my wedding. So it did that before I was pregnant too. I don't know. It drives me nuts. Yeah, yesterday was a bit of a rough day for me, and for poor little Addie girl. I don't know if she was just having a day, if she was not feeling good, what. I hope she's gonna feel better today. She seems to already be doing better. Let me look at a clock and see how long she's been asleep. Yeah, she's already been asleep a half an hour and she hasn't moved a muscle, so good. Because yesterday, she was just having a rough day. She would not sleep for longer than a half an hour increment at a time. So I think I ended up doing like 4 half-an-hour naps, which I never do 4 naps for her, because she didn't need it. But even those 4 half-an-hour naps only totaled to like 2 hours worth of naps. She's supposed to get like 4 or 5 hours of naps. So then she wouldn't sleep. And then whenever she was awake, she was crying unless she was being held. And so I had a bit of a rough day with her. That once I cleaned the house and came in here and did this video, like I told you all about that morning, it's sort of go for me in the morning. And then it's like, okay, now I can stitch. Now, after I film this video, I'm like, okay, now I can go stitch and I can whatever. After I finished filming this video yesterday, I can't remember. She woke up like, oh, she's moving. Go back to sleep. She woke up like 2 seconds later, and was crying and whatever. And so no, that's not what happened yesterday. Yesterday, after I was done filming the video, I was applying for jobs and I had to do that little video introduction and whatever for one of the jobs. That was like the whatever website they had you film that video on, that video introduction was so glitchy. It kept like deleting what I had filmed and like whatever and not working right. And so I ended up having to film that like 8 times or something ridiculous. And so it took forever. So by the time I did that and then applied for a couple of jobs, she woke up and I was like, and then she was crying the whole time she was up for most of it. She would occasionally get to a happy enough point where she would sit on her own and play for 15 minutes. She's usually really good at independent play, but she was just not having it. And so I was like, okay, fine, we're gonna go for a walk. So we went for a walk and she loves that, very happy about that. Came back and then back to being cranky again. And when I was like, oh my God. So then put her down for another nap. That half an hour I got to stitch, which was great. And I was listening to my audiobook a lot yesterday because that was what I could do. I like could have my earphone in my ear and do things around the house while holding her and whatever to just keep her happy since I wasn't stitching. But I finished my book yesterday because of that. I was reading Next of Kin by Kia Abdullah. I was talking a bit about it, I think, in yesterday's clip. Oh my God, so good. If you like books like that, recommend. The ending is like, it is very twisty, so there's twists and turns as it goes along. And how it sort of unfolded in the end was a little bit far-fetched, in my opinion, but it was nonetheless entertaining. That's really all I care about when I'm reading a book. I want something that is like well written, like easy to read kind of thing, where I don't like super, like where you're having to dissect all of these literary fancy things, symbolism and da-da-da-da. Like, I don't need it to be like a hard, like literary masterpiece. I just want it to be entertaining. So as long as it reads well and it's entertaining, I'm happy. So it was a little bit far-fetched, which was a little bit meh, but entertaining nonetheless, where I could see how some people would guess what happened. I didn't. We got to the end of the trial and I was like, okay, so then the book's done. And I looked at it and I had like an hour and a half left. And I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? And then as it went, I'm like, what is going on? And then it's, oh no. Like, you know, like it's just entertaining. So it was really well written, very entertaining, 10 out of 10, liked it a lot. Probably need to read other stuff from her because I've heard that her other books are like just as good. So, yeah, really enjoyed that. That was a good one. And I started reading It's Not Her by Mary. The way that I've been saying Kubica, the way that the audiobook says it is Kubica. That's it. Not Cubica, but Kubica. Mary Kubica, who wrote Local Woman Missing. I didn't realize that I had read anything by her before, but I can't see it on my shelf, but it's on there somewhere. I did read Local Woman Missing, and I really liked it. I don't really remember it, but I remember really liking it. So, started reading that. And so it's one of those, I know, I get why she's such a liked author and why I liked her last book I read from her and whatever, because the writing reads really well and really easy, and it's entertaining and all of that. So, I'm only like, I want to say, I was listening quite a bit yesterday, so I got through like 50% of Next of Kin yesterday, and then like another 25% of It's Not Her. It's about a family who takes a vacation to a lake house. So it's basically brother and sister. They're each married, so two couples that are related, and then their kids. One has one kid and one has three kids. So big family brouhaha. They go to a lake together, and they have a couple cabins on this lake. And then the very start of the book is one of them finding the other couple dead, murdered. The youngest is okay. The middle kid ends up found. The oldest daughter is missing. And it's basically like a whodunit. The town has secrets, and apparently some fucky shit comes out as they're trying to figure out who killed them. So it's very murder mystery, very whodunit. So far so good. I'm 25% into it, I think. Not even. Very, like, it's just the very beginning where they're still just like getting their bearings together of, oh my God, they were murdered. What do we do? What's going on? The police have just showed up. Like, very beginning. So maybe like 15% or something like that. I can't remember. Either way, it's good. So I'll keep you updated on that. And then, so yeah, it was just, and then like put her to sleep again, slept for 30 minutes. She woke up again later in the day and, was just pissed yet again. And so I was like, okay, we need like some Ziploc bags and some whatever. And so I'm just gonna walk. We have a Family Dollar within walking distance of our house, which if you live in a small town, this feels, maybe this is just the small towns around me, it feels like Family Dollar ends up being like as good as a local grocery store. You know, like our Family Dollars in a small town or Dollar Generals or whatever are like packed. There's so much stuff at my Family Dollar. If you want like fresh produce and like more grocery options and whatever, you go to, we have called Keen Market, which is our local family owned grocery store. Love that. But basically anything else, it's like a miniature Walmart is Family Dollar. And so I was like, and it's literally 2 blocks from our house. It's fantastic. So, I was like, so I'm going to walk to Family Dollar. I'll take Addie and we'll walk to Family Dollar. So we looked around just for something to do where she was like, where I was holding her and she wasn't screaming. And so walked down there and just sort of walked around the store. I ended up getting a candle, which is burning out in the living room right now. And I got these like miniature ponytails. So instead of like the elastics, like the clear, you know what I mean? Those always break on me like every 2 seconds. These are actual like ponytail material, but they're teeny tiny. And I saw them and I went, oh, genius. Because I like to wear my hair like this sort of half up. Is there dry shampoo in my hair? Of course there is. This sort of like half up, half down scenario. And I've just been using regular ponytail holders because I couldn't stand the clear elastics that they kept breaking every 2 seconds. But then I was like, oh, the miniature ones. So I bought some of those. I bought a candle and then I got our plastic bags, Ziploc bags. Brought those home, and then she was still just pissed until Perry came home. I was like, oh my God. So he comes home and I'm like telling him about the day that I've had or whatever, and we were snuggling on the couch for a little bit because she had her last half-hour nap of the day. And then when she woke up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start making dinner. And he was like, oh, well, I can make dinner if you want a break or whatever. I'm like, me making dinner is the break. Please hold her. Like, and he was like, oh, okay, got it. I was like, that is my break from having to tend to her. So I made us bourbon chicken for dinner. It's one of my like specialties. I have to be really careful to not make Perry sick of it though. He really likes it, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get sick of it if we make it too often. I'm like, fair. But yeah, really good. I had bourbon chicken and then jasmine rice. We just get like the microwavable rice pouches. So easy, so good. And then some asparagus on the side. So that was good. Stitched a little bit. We started watching a show on Netflix. It's one of those shows that is like dubbed into English. It's made in a different language and then they dub it to English. Which usually we don't like when their lips are not moving to the words, and it can be frustrating, but, he picked it. We started watching it and it was just really good. So, it's called The Billionaire's Bunker, where basically it's like the end of the world and all of these billionaires have this like safety bunker. It's really good because it's very twisty. So yeah, we've been watching that and I was stitching a little bit, but I'll show you what I got done, which was not much. I sat during the one nap of Addie's where I was able to stitch. I was staring, if you remember yesterday, at this piece of the boot that I was like, I did this wrong somewhere, somehow. I did this wrong. I didn't. I counted like 857,000 times again and went, I can't for the life of me figure out what's wrong. I'm just going to start filling it in and maybe I need to change the pattern and maybe I need to, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going because I was just so frustrated. I filled it in and realized I did nothing wrong. I can't count apparently. That it's like this very bottom piece here. I wasn't counting as a row, like I was counting it as a row on the pattern. And so it was all right. I was just counting wrong. I was like, really? So, but was able to finish this boot and then moved on to the next one. So this is the blue and then purple up here. So it's blue at the base and then purple up here. And then the boot over here is fully pink. Yeah. So I finished the base and now I'm like outlining this to fill it in. It's coming along swimmingly. So I'm gonna be working on that again today. You can see this fabric a little better from here. yeah, I think it's looking so good. So yeah, today my plan is to stitch. I'm really hoping that Addie is in a better mood today. Poor baby. I hope she's not feeling crappy, but that's my plan for today. I think that's it. Hopefully I have a lot more stitching to show you tomorrow, because hopefully I actually get some more stitching in today than I did yesterday. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Wednesday the 6th, April 6th. It's snowing like a motherfucker here. If you don't know, I live in Colorado. We have gotten like next to no snow this year. We never really get any rain. Jesus, I gotta up the brightness. Hang on. I don't know why my phone likes to do that. Okay. Yeah, it like almost never rains here on a normal year. So it's continued to do that this year, but also it hasn't snowed barely at all, which is weird for us. We usually get at least, lovely, there's something in my hair, a couple good snowstorms a year. It's not crazy, but a couple good, and it's snowed like once or twice all winter, which is pretty unheard of. So, it's snowing like a motherfucker though. Wait, it's not April. I said April 6th, didn't I? It's May 6th. Have I been saying April all week? I hope not. It's May. What was I saying? It's snowing a lot. Yesterday it was, and they've been saying like this is going to be like the biggest snowstorm, yada yada, in the Denver area, blah 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 blah. But yeah, so yesterday it was raining all day, which also never happens. Really good though, because we've had so little snow and so little water. It's something that Coloradans think about all the time, is the drought. That it's like, oh God, we're already such a dry, like Colorado's basically, essentially it's a desert. Technically it's a desert. And so we're always worried about if we don't get enough snowfall, and then our surrounding states are worried if we don't get enough snowfall, because a lot of like Nevada and places like that rely on the runoff from the mountains. And there's been very little. Oh my God. Oh my God. Addie's sleeping. That's why I'm... Ash! If they wake a sleeping baby, they're getting drop kicked. Anyway, yeah, so it was raining all day yesterday, and then it started snowing last night. It snowed all through the night, and it's still snowing now. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Yeah. So there's a good, I don't know, I want to say maybe 4 inches of snow on the ground right now. It's not sticking to the roads though, which is good, because I was really worried about Perry's commute to work this morning, and it's not sticking to the roads. So the roads should be pretty good. But it is sticking everywhere else. So, yeah, like I said, it's about 8:30 in the morning. Addie decided to wake up at 6 a.m. She did go back to sleep. She like mumbled at 6 a.m. and then went back to sleep until like 6:30 and then woke up, and I was like, really? Last night she went to bed like a smidge early, because she refused her third nap, and so I thought maybe we'll go to bed early, and all of the things say like, oh, your baby, like it's counterintuitive, but if your baby goes to bed earlier, they'll sleep in later. That's not true for her. But if she goes to bed later, she still wakes up at 7 a.m. So it's like, I think like 8:30 is like her sweet spot, because she went to bed at like 7:45 last night, and woke up at 6 a.m. So, but if she goes to bed at 9:30, she wakes up at 7 a.m. But if she goes to bed at 8, she wakes up at 7 a.m. But if she goes to bed at 7:45, she wakes up at 6 a.m. Make it make sense. It doesn't. So 8:30 is her sweet spot because I like her to get as much sleep as humanly possible because then she's happier during the day. So she was up at 6:30, so then I was up, and then Perry got up to get ready for work, and poor guy, I told him to hide in his office today to get away from the snow. Because he's a terminal manager for a like truck and trailer company. They do, and they repair, there's like the shop that repairs the chassis and the containers and whatever, and then there's the yard that handles all of the like organizing of all of the containers that come in, and Perry oversees both of them. So he has an office and does some office work and whatever, but is also out in the elements, and so I told him to hide in his office today. So hopefully that's what he's gonna do, hide in his office, stick around. Good stuff. So yeah, Addie was up and happy for a little bit, but then by 8 o'clock, it was time for her to go back to sleep. Oh, she's stirring. Go back to sleep. Can you hear her? Addie, go back to sleep, baby. Oh no. Am I gonna have to pause this and go get her? I hope not. She was up and happy, and then it was time to go to bed by like 8 again. And so I put her back to sleep, went and got myself ready, and here I am. She might go back to sleep. Yesterday was a good day. After I talked to you, I got a good amount of stitching done, and I was listening to my audiobook. I'm like 35% of the way through it now, and it's good so far. So I like her writing style. It feels very easy to read, fast, that kind of stuff. So really like that. Oh, I think she's going back to sleep. No, put your little head down. She's only been asleep for like a half an hour, so go back to sleep. So yeah, did that. But then by like halfway through the day or whatever, I was just feeling like stir crazy. I don't know why, which sucked because of course it was on a day where it was like pouring rain. And I was like, that's usually the time where I would like go for a walk, like strap Addie to me. It's time to go for a walk, like get out of the house. But it was pouring rain, so I couldn't go for a walk. I need to get out my microphone so I can talk quieter. And so I was like, well, shit, what are we gonna do? Everything I can think of is either eating food, spending money, or being outside, which are all things that I either can't do or shouldn't do. So, I decided to take Addie to the library because I love the library, and we have a really cute library near us. And I was like, we're gonna walk around. I'm gonna strap her to me. We're gonna walk around, look at the books, whatever. I guess that'll count as my like walk for the day because that's the best I can come up with. So we went to the library and walked around. I went up and down all of the the fiction section, and looked at all the books and saw what they had and whatever. I was looking for a couple of things, and one of them was a Lucinda Berry book because I read Saving Noah and I loved it, and I've heard really good things about the rest of her books. And there are a couple that I can get audiobook through the library, but or even just regular book or anything. But there's not much. And so I was like, I wonder if they have more in physical copies at the library. They had nothing, not a single Lucinda Berry book. And I looked it up in the catalog, not a single Lucinda Berry book, not checked out, not nothing. They just don't have them. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I'm going to end up having to buy those or something. I don't know. Why is she awake? Why does she do this to me? She's not mad yet, so I'll just let her be. So yeah, I was looking for that. And then I was looking just sort of around and whatever. And Colleen Hoover has a new book. And I've read almost all of Colleen Hoover's books. And so I was looking for that too. Cause I can't get that on audiobook or whatever yet. And so yeah, we were at the library for like an hour and a half, and I walked around for like an hour. I was like sweating by the end of it. So I'm like, okay, hopefully that counts as a workout. And I did find the new Colleen Hoover book. This is called Woman Down. It's essentially like a writer, receives backlash over her first film adaptation, goes to a secluded cabin in the woods to child. I'll grab her in just a second, I promise. What was I saying? Goes to a secluded cabin in the woods to try to meet a deadline, get over writer's block to get past her backlash. And then a guy shows up that she knows. A detective. And then he stays there, and it's like sort of a love story between them. But then there's also some like thriller aspects, I think, mystery stuff. Something could cost her more than her reputation she's been trying to salvage. Like there's some fucky shit also. One of my favorite books from Colleen Hoover is Verity, which is more of a thriller than it is a romance. So I hope that this book is kind of similar. But honestly, I don't really know. But I read almost everything that Colleen Hoover writes, so I had to pick this one up. This is the first physical book I've had in a long time. And I'm facing the problem that I have where I'm like, I want to read, but I want to stitch, but I want to read, but I want to stitch. And that's why audiobooks are so nice. I might need to go get this baby. I started reading it while we were in the library, and I'm 29 pages in. I think I'm on chapter 2 or 3 or something. I was like, oh, it's what I know and love. The writing, the easy, fast, entertaining writing of Colleen Hoover. I feel like you either love her or you hate her. And I love her. So, hold on. Let me go get this baby and I'll be right back. Okay. I just gave her a couple things to play with. She's on the floor. I don't know why she's up. What time even is it? She went to bed at like a little after 8. And it is 8:47. Lovely. She's been asleep for a half an hour. Why does she do this to me? Turn the baby monitor off. Yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, I started reading this. There are so many like you're either like a Colleen Hoover lover or a Colleen Hoover hater. I love it. So I'm excited. And it's like, there's still, even though I like that the audiobooks are convenient, there's like nothing better than like a real book. You know what I mean? I've read books since I was little. I've always loved books. It's one of the things I always sort of talk shit about myself because my hobbies go on a 6-month rotation. I think I've talked about this in my other videos before, where I have like a couple of set hobbies, but I like rotate through them in like a 6-month or a year span. And so it's like, I'll do cross stitch obsessively for 6 months, and then I'll diamond paint obsessively for 6 months, and then I'll crochet obsessively for 6 months, and just go in that circle. And while reading has come and gone in and out of my life, that's one of the most constant hobbies I've had in my life is reading. Where like I was the kid where like especially in middle school, I think that's where I was like peak obsessed with reading. And like the book fair was my favorite, and I was the kid with 6 books on my desk at a time, and I was reading all 6 of them. I picked up whichever one was like dependent on my mood during the day, which now I can't even comprehend reading 6 books at a time, but I did. And I was like severely made fun of for it, which is great. But I moved a lot when I was a kid. After my parents divorced when I was 10, I moved schools basically every year until I was in high school. We moved like 6 times in 5 years or something ridiculous like that. Moved schools. We moved houses more than that. I've lived in basically every part of the Denver metro area and whatever. So as you can assume, that was pretty lonely for a kid. It's one of the things I vow to never do with Addie because it was just horrible. So there were many times during middle school where I didn't have any friends, because I was always the new kid. I was always, whatever. And so I would, during recess, I would like sit under a tree and read, and it was like amazing. It was sad, but it was also like really nice. And when I was having a bad day, I would read, and after school I would read, and I would take my book. One of the houses we lived in, say good morning to Addie. One of the houses I was in had a really good like climbing tree in the backyard, and I used to I would take my book and I would climb up the tree and read it up in the tree. And that was like peak. That was incredible. So yeah, I've always enjoyed reading, and I've always enjoyed a physical book as much as sometimes the audiobooks are kind of convenient. So yeah, I'm excited because I will probably get to a point today where I'm like, okay, I'm like tired of stitching. I need to do something else. I'll pick this up. So I'm excited about that. So we sat in the library. What's really nice about our library is I think most libraries do this, but we have a very small library. So everything that they have is very cool. That they have the adult side and then the kids side. And they have so much on the kids side that they've got toys all over the place and books that the kids can reach and classes. They have all sorts of like classes and activities all the time. And so we went over to the kids side, and I pulled out a couple of toys for Addie, and she sat on the floor and played with them while I was reading. And oh my God, she loved it, because it's like there's other kids running around, and because there was like a class going on, there's other kids running around, and so she gets to watch them, and she's playing with toys she's never played with before, and she's in a new place, and she just had the grandest time. And I was sitting there reading. I was sitting in a nice comfy chair and reading, and there were other like moms there with their kids, and so I was talking to a few of them, which was really nice. And I only left because it was like, it's time for thank you, Addie. I was like, it's nap time. We got to get her back to the house and get her to bed. And then she refused her third nap. And I was like, if I had known you weren't going to sleep, I would have stayed at the damn library. It's hard when her wake windows are no longer than like 2 hours to really like do something like that. But I told my husband when he got home, I was like, I'm going to have to do that more often. Because 1, it's nice for me to get out of the house. 2, she loved it. Like, I'm going to have to utilize it as like a get out of the house and do something different, like while I don't have a job. And then when I do have a job, I could like go there and work, and she'll be entertained, which is a great idea. So yeah, I sat there and read for a little bit, and then I tried to read a little bit when I got home, but Addie was not having it. So, yeah, that was basically my day yesterday. Stitched, listened to my audiobook, went to the library. That was about it. Now, of course, it's like pouring down rain, and I'm like, of course, this is the day that I get cabin fever and feel like I need to leave the house, is the day that it's pouring down rain. And we get to the library. I changed her diaper before we left to try to avoid having to like deal with a diaper in the car seat, because usually I change her in the car before we go in somewhere, and I wanted to try to avoid that because it was fucking raining. And so I change her before we leave, walk up to the door, and I had like the chest carrier, so I grabbed her out of the car seat. It's raining. I walk up to the front of the library, and I go to put her, because I wanted to get under the canopy so that she wouldn't get rained on while I was finagling her into the chest carrier. Start doing that, and I'm like, why do you smell like that? And I'm like, good God. So I like flip her over and undo her jammies, and sure enough, she had a blowout. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. In the rain? Really? Not at the house that we were at all day, in the rain. So I walk back to the car with her. We like pile into the back seat. I change her blowout and then walk back into the library. We were like wet rats by the time we got in there. But so yeah, I was like, of course she did. Of course. That's my girl. Loves to have blowouts at the most inconvenient times imaginable. So yeah, that was good. Today it is snowing like a motherfucker, so I don't plan on going anywhere. I don't plan on doing anything. I plan on staying in this house. Hopefully I don't go stir crazy, and get some stitching done and get some reading done and all that good stuff. So I'll show you what I did, because I got a lot done on my stitching yesterday. Look at that. So I finished the base of the boot down here, and then I did all of the outline, and then this little like buckle thing here, I did that, and then all of the like decorative stuff on the inside of the boot, I did that, and now I'm just filling in. It's all just solid stitching, one color, filling in all through here. So that's taking a good amount of time, but I'm like almost done. There is a little gap here because there's a leaf or whatever that comes down that way. But yeah, I think it's coming along fucking swimmingly. I can't wait for this to be done. Doesn't it look so fucking good? I'm so excited. I'm gonna hang it right there maybe, or right there. I don't know, on the damn wall. I'm so excited. Yeah, really good. So that's what I plan to do today. Stitch, read. Hopefully Addie will fucking nap worth a shit later today. I wonder if it was the dog's barking that woke her up. I don't know, but hi. She seems happy enough now. Hi. Mommy. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry if you're not into books and there's a lot of talk about reading, but that's sort of my thing with this channel, is that I'm always doing crafty stuff, so it makes sense for it to be Randa's crafty vlog. But I'm just going to talk about whatever I'm doing, whether that be reading or stitching or crocheting or diamond painting or whatever, and just hope that people like it. You know, it is what it is. So I think that's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Thursday, May 7th. It's a little after 9 a.m. I just put Addie down for a nap. And I'm gonna do this on the somewhat, oh my God, my eye's itchy. I'm gonna do this on the somewhat quick side because I wanna get back to reading. Yeah, I'm already about halfway through it. If you like Colleen Hoover, read that book. We'll see if my opinion changes as it progresses, but so far, so good. Like literally the first, I don't know, couple pages into it, I was like, oh, it's the Colleen Hoover I know and love. Yeah, it's very good. So that's what I want to get back to doing, because I can't do anything else. With a physical book, you can't do anything else but read. So I gotta finish it. Yesterday was good. A lot of stitching, a lot of audiobook listening to. I actually finished my audiobook yesterday. I know. I was only 35% of the way through when I started yesterday, and I finished it. So I read 65% of the, no, 65, that's math, percent of the book in one day. It was like 6 hours worth of audiobook that I listened to. It was good. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, it was very classic murder mystery. If you like stuff like that, if you like Mary Kubica, if you like her writing, which I do, I like her writing style, it was good. I wasn't like, oh my God, you have to go read it right now. But it was good. A lot of backlash towards it is about the ending, that they thought the ending was unrealistic and far-fetched and whatever. I personally didn't necessarily think that. Maybe a little bit, but like not the most far-fetched thing I've ever read. I thought it was good. Mostly just because I like her writing style. I really liked the setting that it was in. I liked the characters. All of that was very interesting. So it was good. It was interesting. It wasn't like blow your socks off, but it was good. So finished that. And then I decided that I needed to barrel through this, which I've had no problem doing because, oh my God, it's so good. That it's like, I'm just wanting to keep going. I'm just like, oh my God, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's what Colleen Hoover does to me. So very excited that she had released another book, and that it was, because it is classified as a thriller. It's not her typical romance. There's of course a romance aspect in it, like there is in all of her books, but it's not just a romance novel, which like is always my favorite books from her. My favorites are Verity and Layla. I haven't read Never Never yet. I know that's her other thriller-ish book. I haven't read that one yet, but maybe I should. Yeah. It's good. And if you read I was so confused because if you read the like jacket description of it, it's like super, super vague. Even to the point where I got like a third of the way into the book and I read it again and I went, oh, that's what the fuck she was talking about. It's super vague. It's like, I went into this story going, I don't really know what this is about because the description of it is so vague. It makes sense as you read it that you go, oh, that's what the fuck she was talking about. Okay, got it. I wonder if she did that on purpose. I mean, I guarantee she did it on purpose, but it just makes me even more curious about why in the world did she feel the need to be so fucking vague. It's good. I like it. If you like Colleen Hoover, read it. It just came out in January, so brand new release. If you like that, read it. So that's what I was doing yesterday, was I was listening to my audiobook, and stitching. That's what I was doing, I was stitching. Addie had a pretty good day yesterday. After her first half an hour nap, she was actually pretty happy. My hair is pissing me off today. She was actually pretty happy, and then her second nap was good, and she had a really, really short little third nap after Perry got home. And then we actually didn't have to wake up to the sounds of her screaming this morning, which was beautiful. Usually we wake up, we are awoken by the sound of her crying at 7 a.m. And this morning she woke up at 7:30, and she was happy when she woke up at 7:30. We put her to bed like right at 8:30. So I'm like, I'm telling you, 8:30. And Perry was like, for today, for this week, for whatever. I'm like, yeah, I know, she's ever changing, but what is going on? Anywho, yeah, so that was nice to not have to wake up to the sounds of crying immediately. But yeah, that was basically it. We went for a walk because it stopped snowing like halfway through the day, which was really nice. And now when you, like literally by the end of the day, when you looked outside, you would have never known it had snowed. Like all the snow had melted by the end of the day, even though it was like pouring all morning. It stopped snowing halfway through the day, and Addie and I went for a walk. And then I did a workout when I got back home, and then went right back to stitching and all that good stuff and listening to I was always listening to my audiobook. And that is the hard part for me about having a physical book, is that I miss like the audio. I miss, like I do get fully entranced, engrossed. It's part of why I love physical books so much, is because there's nothing like holding the book in your hand, turning the pages, and you don't have anything else going on in your world. You can just fully immerse yourself into this. Which is part of what's so beautiful. But also, it means you can't do anything else while you're reading. You can't be stitching, you can't be driving, you can't be whatever. The only time you get to read is when you have the time to solely focus yourself to this. And that's part of why I've been liking audiobooks lately, because I don't have giant solid chunks of time to sit and read. I have a baby and I want to stitch and I have to go places, and I mean, not often, but when I do, it's like I would like to listen to an audiobook in the car, and I don't want to start another audiobook until I finish that book, because I'm not a huge fan of reading 2 books at a time. But then what am I going to listen to in the car? You know, like it's, and then how much, I'm not going to get like any stitching done today because I'm just going to be reading. And I know I'm not going to finish that book today, so I wonder how tomorrow is going to go. You know what I mean? So, it's hard. So I'm going to kind of just go with the flow. I'm going to not set any expectations about what I should and shouldn't do and blah, blah, blah. I have a tendency to do that. Just whatever comes to me. And probably for the most part, that will be audiobooks, also because it's easier. You can just check them out and return them on your phone and not have to worry about like driving back to the library and whatever. But I might check out a physical book every once in a while, especially if it's a book that I am not able to get on the Libby app. My mom did say that she said, try, if you are having a hard time finding what you want on Libby, try Hoopla, that apparently that she had a better experience on that, being able to get books quicker and whatever. Like, okay. I don't know why that would be the case, but okay. Addie is squirming, I swear to God. So yeah, let me show you what I did. I know, I moved on. I couldn't even show you when it was done because I move on so quickly. And it's gonna be hard because it's folded up in the Q-snap. But as you can see, oh, here we go. It's half folded up in the Q-snap, but I got that boot done, that purple boot. Excuse me. I went kind of gangbusters yesterday while I was listening to my audiobook, and I got that boot done, which was really nice. So, then moved on to the last boot. I'm almost done, and I can't wait to show you like all folded out what it all looks like together. But yeah, did the base, did the outline, did the little white creases on the toe, and then just filling it in. And then obviously this part of the boot, and then the flowers, and then I'm done. And after this one, I am going to do Sea Flora by Nora Corbett. You have to break out the scroll frame for that. But I am so excited about this. It's so cool to see my own pattern come to life. Sometimes I forget that I'm the one who designed this, and I'm like stitching it as if somebody else designed it. And then like I take a step back and I look at it and I'm like, I made that. I designed that. How cool is that? Like, it's just cool. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to take a couple pictures of it, and I'm going to get the listing going on Etsy so that if anybody else wants it, they can have it. Yeah, loving this. I think it's going to look so good. And I love this fabric that I picked for it. 10 out of 10 recommend. Because it just looks, it's exactly what I was going for in terms of color. So love that. And this would be really good for beginners too, that there's no back stitches, there's no half stitches, there's no specialty stitches, there's nothing complicated about it. It is 100% single cross stitch. And it's really cool and fun without being too incredibly difficult. So I think this would be a good one for beginners even. Yeah, love it. Love it. So I'm gonna end it here because that's big. I'm gonna go to my mom's today. We're having lunch, and she was like, what do you want to do about Mother's Day? And I was like, that's a great fucking question. This is my first like real Mother's Day. I was pregnant last Mother's Day, and so we did kind of like, it's Mother's Day, but it's like I didn't really feel like it was Mother's Day because I was just pregnant. But now that I actually have a child, I actually am a mother, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to handle this. That like, I don't want to. My mom's always been fairly lax with this kind of stuff anyway. Her birthday is like the week after Mother's Day. It always is. And so usually we combine the two of them and celebrate together and whatever. but I don't want to, I don't know, just like completely disregard her Mother's Day, while also it's my first Mother's Day, and I want some of it to be about me. You know what I mean? That, like, especially because it's my first ever Mother's Day. She was like, you know, are we all celebrating together? Are you guys gonna do just the three of you? And I was like, honestly, I don't fucking know. No clue. So we're gonna talk about that this afternoon, because I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to do. So we'll see. But that should be interesting. And so yeah, we're gonna go over there this afternoon and have lunch and whatever, and that's about it for my day. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for the final clip of this vlog. Good morning. It is Friday the 8th, I think, May 8th. I'm gonna keep this a little bit short and sweet today because I am having a day. I don't know what is going on because I slept well last night. I am so tired. I don't know, just having a day. I even, like, it's about 10 o'clock. Addie had her first nap, and I went and laid down during her first nap. That I was like, she only slept for like an hour, and so and I'm not sure I ever really fully fell asleep, but I got to lay down in the dark for like 45 minutes, which is better than nothing. So I feel a little bit better after that, but oh my God, I'm so tired. And like it's Friday, and so Perry goes out usually he makes our coffee in the morning, like the pot of coffee. But on Fridays, he goes out for breakfast. He gets coffee out and breakfast out. And so then I'm like, fuck me. I don't feel like doing any of it. I don't feel like leaving the house. I don't feel like making a pot of coffee. I don't feel like it. But I was like, I'll just stop. We have like a coffee truck. It's like a food truck that you can drive through, to get coffee in our town. And so I was like, I'll just do that. And I go there and I order my drink, and I always get hot coffee, and they handed me an iced coffee. And I was like, honestly, whatever. Like, I just don't, who cares? Who fucking cares? It's really just a way to take my supplements, because I put my PCOS supplements in it in the morning. I have like a powdered supplement that I put in my coffee in the morning, and I'm like, I just need a way to get my supplements, so who fucking cares? I'm just having a day. I don't know. So that's why I haven't gotten ready. I haven't nothing. This is how I woke up, which I don't usually do these days. I've been trying hard to like get ready in the morning. I don't fucking feel like it today. So this is what's happening today. Yeah, yesterday was good though. Went and hung out with my mom, which was nice, and we figured out what we were going to do for Mother's Day this weekend, which was good. That Perry was very much like, it's your first Mother's Day, it's about you. Addie's on the floor. What's wrong, Muffin? Nothing? Okay. So we decided that like the three of us, Perry and Addie and I, are gonna do our own thing during the day, and then we're all gonna get together for dinner on Sunday night for my mom, for her portion of the Mother's Day. I think that, and everybody was happy with that, so I think that'll work out good. Why are we sad? I don't know. So yeah, went and hung out with her, and I literally yesterday morning, Addie took like a 2-hour nap yesterday morning, which was beautiful. And I finished reading my Colleen Hoover book, Woman Down. Really good. I liked it. Yeah, it was really good. If you like Colleen Hoover and you like her writing and that kind of stuff, then you'll like it. There is just fair warning, because the book jacket is very, very vague. So you don't really know what you're getting into. It is classified as a thriller. When I Googled it, I wouldn't classify it as a thriller. Maybe a romantic suspense, maybe. Like, I wouldn't classify it as a thriller. And there's a lot of sex in it. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, so I did, because I spent all morning reading a physical book, I didn't get any stitching done in the morning. I only stitched in the evening when I got home from my mom's house. But, excuse my needle that's in the way. There we go. I did get a little bit done. So I think, yeah, I finished filling in the boot. I did the outline, got some of these little bits done, and then started filling in the like decorative swirly stuff in here so that I could fill in the solid color that's in there. My hope is that I will finish this today. That's my hope. That I can get the flowers done and fill this in and whatever, and it'll be done. That's my hope for today. I'm so excited to see this done, and then hopefully on Monday of next week's vlog, I'll be able to hold it fully out and show you what it all looks like together, because I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to get the pattern finished and get pictures of the model stitch and get it on the shop so that if anybody wants it, they can have it, and get it on my wall. It's going on my wall. I love it. I also, in the mail yesterday, got this that I ordered. This is Mouse's Laundry Day by Tiny Modernist. I think after I'm done with this, hopefully today, I'll do Sea Flora by Nora Corbett. Start on that. And then when that's done, do that. And then I can't decide. There's an Autumn Lane Stitchery. Don't look at the pattern. There's an Autumn Lane Stitchery pattern that I'm thinking about doing after this one. Either that or I'm going to design another pattern of my own and do that. But I got all of the floss, which isn't much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 colors. I can't. I'm tired. 8 colors, not much at all. I'm gonna just use one of my little floss buddies. And then this is not the called for fabric. There's a lot of plastic going on here. I need to get out one of my plastic bags. This is interesting. They put it on a tag instead of just sticking it to the fabric like they usually do, which is interesting. Throw all this plastic away. This is not the called for fabric. It's called for on, hang tight, Amazing Gray by Witchell, 32 count Amazing Gray. This is also all charted in Weeks Dye Works, and I did the DMC conversion. And they have that listed in here in the pattern, which will be easy. But so I didn't do that Amazing Gray. For whatever reason, I can't remember. I talked about it a while ago. And I did Clay Barn Gray, 32 count. I believe this is also by Witchell. It looks exactly like, it looks like what the model is stitched on. I don't know. I think oh yeah, that's what it was. The picture of the called for fabric on the website looked really dark for some reason, and I didn't want something that dark. And so I did this, which is just a really light tan, which is gonna look good with all of this. There's not like a light anything in here that's gonna contrast with this other than white, which is gonna be fine. So, yeah, 32 count Clay / Barn Gray is literally what it's called. So yeah, that's gonna be good. So I have that. Yay. This pattern is so funny. It's like in this little booklet. It's really small, and you can see it's not really, it's like sort of colored symbols, but not really. I don't know. I just thought it was funny in this little like booklet thing, but. And then today I should be getting the frame, so I'll be able to show you on Monday. The frame is out for delivery for Ye Honk Saloon. So very excited to get that framed. So I will be doing that today. Yeah, that's about it. That's it. My plan is to stitch today. So, like I said, I'm hoping to get this done today. That would be exciting. And then I'll start on Sea Flora. So that is all for this vlog. I'm pretty sure next week there's something in my hair. There it is. It's a piece of floss. Who'd have thought? What is my neighbor doing? He keeps leaving and then coming back and then leaving and then coming back. What are we doing? What was I saying? Oh, next week. Next week, I'm going to pull out my microphone that I have like a lav mic, whatever you want to call it. The ones that clip to your shirt. That I used to use when I filmed videos, just because there's some days where I talk quieter because Addie's asleep and whatever. And I've noticed, I feel like you can hear my air conditioning going or my heat going in the background. So let's not play with plastic choking hazards. Let's just not. She pulled the plastic out of my little trash can. Choking hazard. Suffocation hazard. She loves playing with choking hazards. Don't you? She pulled it right back out the trash can. She'll be okay. I'm right here. So yeah, I'll pull out that microphone next week. So we'll see if that's any good. Yeah, that's it for this vlog. Hope you guys had a great week. I'm going to go ahead and get this processed and uploaded and all those good things. Hope you guys are having a good week and you have a good weekend. I will talk to you on Monday.